I Died for Beauty, but Was Scarce by Emily Dickinson, 1830 to 1886. I died for beauty, but was scarce adjusted in the tomb, when one who died for truth was lain in an adjoining room. He questioned softly why I failed. For beauty, I replied, and I for truth. Themself are one. We brethren are, he said. And so, as kinsmen met in a night, we talked between the rooms until the moss had reached our lips and covered up our names. Okay, this is a poem by Emily Dickinson. Let's see, this poem is about truth and beauty and the question of what are the most important things in life. And I think it says that the most important thing in life is probably death. That if you are a martyr for truth or for beauty or for any ideal, at the end of the day, death is death, and everything that you were will be slowly erased. So it's very good being idealistic and standing up for your ideals, but dying for your ideals is something that will disappear in time, and your sacrifice will not last forever. So it gives this idea, these themes of truth and beauty, and how truth and beauty are the same thing. And this is echoing Ode on a Grecian Urn by John Keats. Keats says truth is beauty, beauty truth. I think it's that way around. And what she's saying here is that she's actually looking at the person who stands up for that beauty, the person who makes that beauty, the person who creates it, rather than the beauty or the truth itself. So let's see. I died for beauty, but was scarce adjusted in the tomb. So I died as a martyr for beauty. Beauty was what was the thing that was the most important aspect of my life, and I was just getting comfortable in the tomb when one who died for truth was lain in an adjoining room. So when somebody who had died for truth was put to rest in the same tomb, in the same place, so now we've got two dead people, and they are talking in the tomb. He questioned softly why I failed. So why did I die? He asked me why I died. For beauty, I replied. So for the sake of beauty. And I for truth. And he said, I died for truth. Themself are one. They are the same thing. So we brethren are. We are both brothers. We are, he said, and so as kinsmen met a night. So we are brothers. We've got the same idea. That you died for beauty, I died for truth. So we both died for these high moral ideals. And so as kinsmen met a night, we talked between the rooms. And like people who had just met, who have always have things to talk about, who never run out of conversation, these two people are talking, and they're talking about things until the moss had reached our lips and covered up our names. But then time goes by and they're in the tomb, and the moss, it covers their lips and they can't speak anymore, and it covers up their name. And moss is representative of death, of time passing, and time and the world forget them. What they did is no longer remembered. What their names were is no longer remembered. So despite dying for truth and beauty and high moral ideals, at the end, as time goes by, this is something that is completely forgotten. So truth and beauty, it's like this poem. It's like a reply to Keats's Ode on a Grecian Urn, because Ode on a Grecian Urn is talking about truth and beauty and saying that in an object of art that this is something that will live forever. And Keats is talking about this beautiful urn that will live forever, is something that will always be there. But in this case, she is looking at the effect on the person. She's putting this back, and she's perhaps disagreeing. She's saying that death is death, and even if you are a martyr for truth and beauty, this is not something that will live. And despite all of the wonderful things that humans might create, the author, the person who makes them, the person who made Keats's Grecian Urn, is someone who is forgotten. That these will go. And although she does agree that beauty and truth are the same thing, so I think maybe it's an irony, an ironic message at Keats's Ode to a Grecian Urn. So effectively, we've got a person who dies for truth and a person who dies for beauty, and they're both buried in the same tomb, and they start talking, and they talk until time obliterates them. So, I Died for Beauty but Was Scarce by Emily Dickinson.